We're here to test the VSSM29, the simple variable super mod for the Cobra 29 from KDC Sound. It's a little 4-wire module, very simple to hook up, it says. And it also comes with this little small part that it wants us to install. We're going to be doing this on a video, so you'll be able to actually to track it and follow it exactly along with us to see us install this step by step. So let's check now and let's see exactly what the radio is doing, and then we're going to be installing these parts. Alright, we're going to be testing our Cobra 29 to see what it is doing at this present time. This is a stock radio, stock Cobra 29 Classic, and let's see what kind of power it's putting out at this present time. We're going to be again using the Sepco modulator to drive the microphone. This gives us an even sound. It's a two-tone sound, but it also gives us a very even sound so that our watt meter stays very stationary, so we can see exactly what the radio is capable of. Dead key wise, the radio is dead key and not quite 4 watts. Let's say 3 3/4 of a watt, and we're going to modulate it. And under modulation, it looked like it was going to about 6.5 watts. All right, let's do the install of the simple variable super mod from KDC Sound and see exactly if it's going to perform as they claim it does. All right, step number 1, according to the instructions that comes along with the module, is to install this little small part in the radio. And the description that is given us, or the picture that we're going to allow you to see with, let's look down at the radio and see exactly where it goes. See this position right here is where it's calling for. You can kind of figure out where it exactly is. We have this print making all this little circular around this little module here, and we're looking right here. So get a closer look at exactly where this little smart part is going. It's going from here to ground. So let me zoom in on it so you can actually see where it's going. Alright, we've just soldered the little part they gave us to this little joint right here, this little leg right here to ground. And you can locate it. There's kind of a little boxy print here, and then these circular prints going around the board. So it's pretty easy to locate on the board. And we'll back out to give you a little bit better idea of where it was put. And now you can see exactly where it was. Alright, that is step number 1. Step number 2, it says remove jumper JP32. JP32 is a little jumper that's located right here. Maybe you can see that pretty good in the video. Back over here is the driver, back side of the driver transistor. This is the first can right behind the heat sink. And then there's a little jumper wire right there. And then the little buffer transistors right here. We're going to remove the little jumper. Now there's 2 ways of doing this. You can either just cut it, or you can take it out. And just for the sake of making life easy, we're going to cut it. We're just going to take our little nippers and nip it just like that. And we've cut that little jumper. Let me see if I can get a good clean picture of it so you can see. I actually just cut it in 2 right there. Alright, so that one is disconnected. So far we've added the one little part right here to ground and cut the jumper. Now step number 3, it says cut the wires from the delta tune. So we're going to go find the delta tune knob, come on the back side, locate the wires. We're going to pull on them so you can find out where they're going. This one goes way to the back of the radio, this green one does. So we can, this green wire off the delta tune comes way from the back of the radio. And we can go all the way to the back of the radio, but we don't need all of that wire. So we're just going to cut it off. We have the orange wire, and it goes right here to the circuit board, so we can just nip it off. And then we have the blue wire, which also just goes, the blue wire, and it also just goes right here to the circuit board right off the delta tune. So we're going to cut it off. All right. All right, we've cut loose the 3 wires off the delta tune. I'm going to pull them out of the tie strap here. We have a blue, violet colored, blue, orange, and green. All right, the next step we have, it says solder the yellow wire off of the variable super mod to the green wire on the delta tune. All right, let's peel that back. And we did put a little boot on the yellow wire so we can boot this connection and protect it when we get through. All right, step number 5 tells us to solder the brown wire to the orange, so let's go ahead and get that done. All right, we'll boot that up in just a moment. And step number 6 is solder the blue wire to ground, and you can use any ground you want to on the radio. The easiest one to get to, of course, is just one of the cans or something that's right here beside us, so we'll just tack it right there. All right, on the next step, we're going to take the red and the white wire to the back side of the board, because this is the easiest place to get to these connections, and you can just move the whole module. It's well insulated and protected, so it can't short out. And we're going to solder these on the back side of the board. The white wire will come way over here to the junction that we've cut loose a moment ago. That's that JP32 junction. And let me zoom in on that a little bit so you can kind of see where we tied that in at. All right, you can see right here that this is pretty easy to identify. Of course, you got a couple of screws right there to get you real close to in the market as to where we're at. Right across from the screw closest to the front of the radio, there's a can right here. That's that can that was between the heat sink and the driver. And then there's one leg of the can that's not soldered at all, and then the joint right here that attaches to it right here. So I believe that'd be pretty easy to locate. The next one is to solder the red wire, and that's going to be right here at this junction right here. So it's just right next and right close to it. So we're just going to solder it right here. Actually, any of these legs along here on this circuit trace here will work for this, but there it is right there. All right, we're back to our power meter one more time, and we're going to plug in our radio. And let's get ready to see what's going to happen. All right, well, we still have power after all of that. That's pretty good. We're going to move our delta tune knob, and as you can see, it moves pretty smoothly. Now we're going to drive it with the SEPCO modulator, and let's see what happens. Oh, we see we did go off the scale, so we're going to move this over to the 100-watt scale. Now we're going to try that one more time. Here we are at about 3.5 watts. And it moved up to about 16 or 17 watts that time. Now we haven't tried to tune the coil, so let's try to tune the tuners on the output to see if we can get any more out of them. So we're going to tune the L14 right in front of the final. And moving the L14 to the top of the coil, you see the power rise. Very good. The thing we want to know is, we're calling this a variable super mod. Can we turn the radio down to a low power and still get high power, high swing out of it? Here we go. Here we go. Back to the radio down to about 1 watt. Now let's see what it'll do. All right, we got full swing out of her even with it down at 1 watt. How low will it go? Let's see. About a half a watt. What will it do? Almost full power even at a half a watt. All right, I guess we can say with confidence that the new simple variable super mod by KDC Sound is a good little workhorse and works really great.